Welcome back, everybody. This video, we're going to be talking about outliers, data points that are really outside and not really belong to the majority of the data. And we'll be looking at them just by pulling them out and identifying them, but also seeing how they fit into box plots as well. So we have this data set showing here the weights of pears and grams in a crate of fruit, 143, 146, 158, all the way to 197. What data values are outliers? Now, looking at the data set, 140s, 50s, 60s, 70s, then they make a pretty big jump to the 90s. Since there's such a big distance here from the 170 and 193, these two values here, C and D, 193, 197, are what we call the outliers. They're outliers in that they're far away from the majority of the data. If we were to find things like the mean, it would certainly skew or alter the mean dramatically. We have another set of data here. Number of visitors to a museum every day for 10 days, 10 values, not in order from least. Yeah, I guess they are. They are in order from least to greatest. Looking for outliers here. Which statement is true? Well, looking at the values 202, 219, then there's a big jump to 280s, the 290s. Then we get into the 300s, starting with 303, increasing to 390, with the values fairly close together. We see a huge gap here from the 219 to the 280. It's almost 60 or more of a gap, showing that this 202 and 219 are probably our outliers. Now, there is a fairly big gap between 374, 391, but that's not nearly as big as the gap here from the 202 and 219. All right, on this one, we're just going to have a little chart here, and we're analyzing 4 of the data points. We're just going to select outlier or not outlier for each data point. 5.5, 6.2, 4.9, 9.1. They go up and down here, 15.8, 6.6, 5.6. We've rearranged these data points down here at the bottom. And you look where the data is clustered. We have 1.9. We make a jump to 4.2. We're in the 4s, 5, 6, 9. Jump to 9, a little bit of a gap there. But then it really makes a big jump to the 15.8. So looking at 1.9, is 1.9 an outlier? Given how far away it is from 4.2, we'd say there could be an argument for it to be an outlier. The 4.2, 9.1, maybe not, looking at how those are close. And yeah, there's a little bit of a jump here to the 9.1, but then 15.8, pretty far away, almost 6 away, definitely an outlier. And then here we're going to look at modified box plot. Modified in that we do have an outlier showing here at the 150, a little bit more than 150, looks like 151. We see those values in there. Look down at C here. C might be our best fit, 151. And then we're going to look at our min and max value. We'll look at our min here, at least of 100. And then we're going to go to the middle value, or median. Looks like a little bit more than 115, maybe 117. That's right there. So yeah, looks like C here is going to work. These numbers are going to match up pretty well. We see our max here. See the other max with modified. You know, it shows the outlier, but yeah, that modified max there at 126. That's that value there. And then here's another one, data set represented by the modified box plot. It looks like we have 2 outliers. And the one that might fit here, looking at C here, that might fit these values. Let's kind of verify. So if we put these in order, they're not quite in order. I think here we are. Here's the values in order. There isn't a true median. So we had to average 72 and 78 to get 75. And we do see how that matches up here, 75 right there. Our outliers appear to be 46 and 108, and we see how those match up there. There we go, and the rest of the data is going to fit in pretty nicely. Sometimes it fits, sometimes it's off a little bit. Look at our quartiles. The first 68, yeah, right about there. And then the 82. It's right about there, so our quartiles seem to fit as well. And then the last point, 66 right here. Let's go ahead and highlight these. Here's 66 for our modified minimum and 85 for our modified maximum. There we go. So yeah, looking at these examples here, hopefully you got an idea of modified box plots and just the effect that outliers have on a set of data. Thank you for watching. Please leave questions in the comments below.